How are you? It's Saturday, about 1:15, March, what is it? March 9th, 2024. It's sort of a dreary spring day. Spring officially starting March 1st, meteorologically, as I mentioned before. And then astronomically, it doesn't start until equinox, which is the 19th of this month. Um, Dreary, a little on the cold side, wet. Man, we've had a lot of rain. But you know what? It feels like spring. That's what early spring feels like. And for me, that's cause for celebration. However, I was sort of looking forward to daylight savings time, I think, because for some reason, I was thinking I was going to be able to catch a little bit more of the sunrise. It's not going to work out that way. I had my whole concept of time turned around backwards, and that's actually a telling point that time really is just a concept. Um, hey, Hulk076, Joe, finally caught the live. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. Um, for those who may pop in later or watch this afterwards, definitely check out Joe's channel. This is a guy who is putting in the work every single day, most often twice a day, and never a complaint. Every once in a while, I don't feel like doing this, as he gets on the floor and knocks off his 100 plus push-ups plus squats. No excuses. None at all. You know what? And not if you want to get someplace. Not if you have a destination in mind. Not if you're working towards something. It's easy to make excuses. We all have. At one time or another, and we all probably will. For whatever reason, there are things that we make excuses for, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's the pinpointed, laser focused attention. I'm doing this, and we end up doing it all the time. I am much the same. There's a lot of stuff that I do right, health wise, for my life. And there's a lot of whole other stuff that I completely mess up. And I'm using proper language for that. The G rated language, because I do worse than messing up sometimes. I'm often used as an example by friends, by family, of being very disciplined. But I always tell them, you know what? I'm probably the laziest person in the world. I don't think of anything in my life as being disciplined because I'm doing the stuff that I absolutely love to do every single day. I love getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The day is mine, just mine. Who else is up at 3 o'clock in the morning? I get in my meditation when it's completely silent. This is what in yoga philosophy they call the Brahma hour, the hour of God. It's when that thin place between mind and God is no longer separated. It's porous. We can go back and forth. Joe says, that's why I record the push-ups. You have a few minutes to do something. Absolutely. And you set a great example. And that's all it takes. A few minutes. It's a great thing with body weight or, kettlebell swings. I trained a person once who I mainly had him walk and do kettlebell swings. And he was a neighbor, literally lived just a few houses away. And he told me he didn't have time to come over anymore. And I said, that's fine. I'll lend you a kettlebell. And just more excuses why I can't do this. The bottom line is he no longer wanted to do it, which is fine. I'm not even sure that he realized he didn't want to do it anymore. Maybe he believed the excuses that he had. And we all make excuses. Some things. But every once in a while, like I said, something captures our attention and we're all in. We don't even think about it anymore. It's what we do. It's who we are. Um, but like I was saying, um, I don't consider myself disciplined. When you're doing the stuff that you love, is it really discipline? Maybe at first, you know, when I first became a vegetarian, I was an avowed meat eater. There was a training for bodybuilding and powerlifting, absolutely convinced that I needed protein, but I was entering more fully into that yogic lifestyle, and I knew the vegetarian diet was for me. Um, our friend Destiny PhD is here. Hello and happy Saturday. Hello, Destiny. Destiny, do you know Hawk 076? If you don't, this is Joe, and you guys should definitely be checking out each other's channels. Um, again, both of you guys have wonderful messages that you're putting out there. Inspiring across the board. So that was a big paradigm shift for me, to switch to a vegetarian diet. However, maybe a decade later, when I knew it was time for me to be a vegan, it wasn't quite so hard, but I was giving up fish, I was giving up cheese, but I had to introduce some other stuff into my diet that I wasn't used to. That took a little bit of discipline. But now I don't even think about it. My diet isn't disciplined. I absolutely love what I eat, how I eat, the variety that I have to eat. Destiny says that she will check them out later. Eric, thank you. Sure. I think you two are beginning of a friendship in the training universe, in the YouTube training. Smitty is here. I'm back. Saw you back on. Like, shared for a few while I Sesh, I appreciate that. Smitty. Thank you. Yeah, normally, by the way, my morning, the burpee isn't live. It's usually taped. Because I wouldn't be able to really interact too much when I was doing burpees. Hawk says, I'll look at her channel, and it sounds like a plan. Yep, I think you'll both be inspired by what you see. And I'm pretty sure Smitty and Destiny might know each other from James Skype. So, as far as discipline, it's useful, obviously. So is motivation. But I think we're much better served by following inspiration, what inspires us. It's always easier, in my opinion, which doesn't mean much. I don't even base a whole lot of stock in my opinion because it can change. New information comes in, new insights come in, new whatever, replacing the old ones. But for me, it seems to serve me better to follow inspiration than it does motivation. Because motivation, sometimes you got to work to get motivated. Inspiration, it's never work. You're following that dream. You're heading forward. Years ago, when I was studying NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, they talked about strategies. Everyone has a strategy for buying something, a strategy buying a car, buying a painting, buying a house, whatever. Everyone has a strategy, and it's based upon the modalities of feeling, kinesthetic, hearing, auditory, sight, visual, and I forget what the others were. So the clues to figuring that out is the language that we use. When somebody's trying to sell us something and we nod our head and say, that sounds good. if a salesman picks that up, if a hypnotist picks that up, then they know that the strategy of getting you to buy something begins with auditory. So they might say something, you know, using sound in the description. Hear the solidness of the wall, or listen to how this car sounds, the power of the car. How does that sound to you? And you're thinking, well, this guy's onto something. So it's clicking all the right buttons. So if you can use that as a tool for yourself as well. Let's see. Smitty says that they do get to know each other. I figured as much, because both of you are some of the really big active people on James Skype. One of the things that, and this is a big thank you to Destiny, she gave me the advice of, you know, not just showing up, just dropping a link, not just liking and sharing, but engaging with other people, and, you know, leaving a comment on the channel and actually spending time there. All about community. And if you go to James Skype and you're engaging in the community, you're going to grow your channel. You're going to make some friends, and it's going to be worthwhile. But if you show up and you think, what's in it for me? This doesn't seem to be working. You mentioned my channel, but nothing's happening. It's because you're not putting in the work to get the results. Case in point, I got a great comment from Smitty on one of my nature shorts. Actually, no, it was workout, where he talked about he likes to support people that support him. That's community. Smitty says, if it wasn't for James, I would have quit my channel. He helped me a lot, taught me some things. Yeah, I've significantly grew my channel thanks to James. And not just that, but made some connections. Heck, I'm here having a conversation with you, Smitty, because of James. And for me, that kind of stuff goes a long way. So yeah, with motivation, we can use certain strategies to get motivated or to motivate others. But it is work. But inspiration doesn't mean the two can't go together. Doesn't mean that you can't be inspired and then put in the proper strategy to follow that inspiration. But for me, my life has largely become one of following one inspiration to another. The reason why I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning isn't because I'm motivated to get busy. It's because I'm inspired to get up. I'm inspired to meditate. I'm inspired to chant and to do my breath work, and then to do my yoga, and then to sit and write for an hour, and then to get outside and walk. And then all that is done before it's even 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting my burpees in by 7. That's a good day for me. Now, I'm fortunate. Right now, I'm semi-retired, living on savings that I'm hoping to refurbish, build up those savings a bit more so I can continue my monk-like yogic lifestyle. And we'll see. Destiny says, so true. We have to put in the work to get results. It's all about networking and connecting with new and different communities. You are your product. Man, I absolutely love that saying, Destiny. You are your product. Because that changes everything on your YouTube channel. Put yourself out there and sell it. If you realize what Destiny just said, that you are your product, you don't have to have a gimmick on your YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be, you know, I started out as a just burpees, but I couldn't help myself. I had to start talking. And after my burpees, I sat down and started talking about, you know, meditation. I started talking about yoga. I started talking about breath work, philosophy, nature, all kinds of stuff. And then I decided to do a live session. and then another live session, and then shorts. Um, yeah, definitely, as usual, nails it completely. You are your product. And you know what? Be inspired to take that channel wherever your heart tells you to, wherever the inspiration itself, wherever you're not limited. You're only limited by the ideas that you have, by the opinions and beliefs that you have. I go back to Brian Cady, the author, who has a wonderful form of self-inquiry where she'll ask, is this true? Anything that's bothering you or that you feel is holding you back, is it true? Can you absolutely know for certain that it's true? How do you act when you believe that it's true? And who would you be if you didn't have that thought? So if I thought I'm just a guy doing burpees, who would I be if I believed that thought? I'd be just a guy doing burpees. That would be the extent of my channel. But when I think in terms of being an artist and that I am, as Destiny said, I am my own art. I'm my own artwork. All of it. An expression channeled by the universe. As Alan Watts, the great philosopher, said, as the ocean waves and a tree branches, the universe selves, the universe peoples. We're an expression of the universe. I have all that behind me. The infinite channeled down into finite form. How can I not be inspired? And how can I not have some sort of confidence that just me talking is enough to have a complete YouTube channel? Is it enough to make a living? We'll find out. I'm working on it. I'm working on the views and getting monetized. So we'll see. Brian Lane, how are you? I'm glad you popped in. Here's another guy who is just putting his channel out there. He's doing the work. He's talking. He's highlighting nature, meditation, spirituality, the things that brought him to this point in life. And, you know, this is a guy that's been through a lot. So another person to check out. Definitely check out Brian Lane's channel. You'll be inspired. So I'm going to go back to Destiny's comment. You are your product. Because that reminds me of Brian. He's his product. He is literally putting his life out there and saying, hey, you guys can do this too. Noble Scrolling Traveler. You know what? That's an absolutely awesome channel name, by the way. I absolutely love that. Noble Scrolling Traveler. Noble says, how are you, sir? I'm doing well. Thank you. I appreciate you asking. Brian said he just did a bench press video and a little bit of talking about things. Always appreciate the talks that you have. Brian says he's having a great day. I'm doing pretty well. I'm having a great day too. I had some technical difficulties. I noticed some of the short clips that I had planned to upload, nature clips, completely disappeared from my phone, which was sad, but it was also an opportunity to get out in the rain and do some more. One of the things about doing the nature shorts, it's heightened my attention to detail. There's always something in nature that can grab your attention and is worth getting a short clip on and sharing with others. And I'll talk about that in a second, how my attitude about that has changed. Noble says, I make videos of saying nice messages to people when they are down, and others are goofy ones. That's an amazing thing to do. Man, you fit right in here, Noble. Um, you're you're like twin spirits with Destiny Forever Walks PhD, um, because she makes joyful videos and inspiring videos, as does Brian, as does Hawk, um, and as does Smitty. You know what the thing? All of us do in our own ways. Um, Smitty has to go. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I'll be spending some time on your channel later today. Noble says, you look like you are in a peaceful, happy mood today. I am. Tempted to say almost always. That's not necessarily true. Um, I do often have a low-lying, low-level um, depression that I've gone through much of my life, late teens through most of my adulthood. However, at the age I'm at now, um, it feels different. It feels that now I haven't gotten over it. It hasn't passed, but everything's lighter. I'm able to hold things a little lighter. Um, it's all appearing in this sense of awareness that um, hard to explain. It still affects me, but I'm not affected by it, if that makes sense. I'm not affected by the effects of depression. Brian says, hope you're having a great day, Noble. Nice to meet you here. Yep, Noble. You know what? I need to write that down so that I can remember. I'm technically deficient. So when I go back and look at this, I have a hard time seeing the conversations that have taken place. So I want to make sure that I subscribe to your channel, Noble. I tell you what, I've been extremely fortunate in the people that I've been able to subscribe to and follow and try to keep involved with. And it's across a wide spectrum. Like through James Skype, I've met quite a few people who have craft channels. I don't knit, I don't crochet. I have fond memories of my mother and my sister knitting and crocheting. I have quilts that belong to my grandmother and great-grandmother that they made together. It's absolutely amazing, and I don't have any desire to do it myself, but I love, even if I just show up for a few minutes and offer them some support, it's pretty cool. Our friend Kayla Bill is here. Hey Bill. Kayla, how are you? I don't know what it is about Kayla Bill, but she has an infectious quality. Just showing up, just popping up. I see it on James' channel when she pops up, and it's here as well. It just makes me smile. And you know what? Getting somebody to be able to smile through no overt action of your own, just in your presence, that's no small gift. That's a wonderful thing to be able to go through life and do that for others. It's a level of healing that is deeply needed and appreciated in the world. Noble Squirrel and Traveler says, thank you, Brian. You as well. I appreciate you and your hospitality in the chat. I'll tell you what, Noble, for the most part, this is a good as group of people as you would like to meet. Destiny and I have coined it as the fellowship of beingness, the fellowship of beingness. Just show up and be. No expectations. You don't have to do anything. Um, just hang out. Be the good person that you naturally are. Allow it to surface. Every once in a while, we get a few people come in to troll. But you know what? Even then, when that happens, a lot of them end up staying and having a good time. Um, we don't take them serious at all. You know, there's nothing someone can, there's no way someone can troll me online that I probably haven't heard in person. And if it doesn't affect me in person, it's not going to affect me. Someone who's just a ghost in the machine, just a voice passing through. The only thing I ever asked, if you're going to come in and troll, is be original. Try to be funny. Kayla says big likes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brian says, and what I said on my video earlier is have to slow down. So can reserve my behavior because some things have been a little bit triggering for me lately. You did a video 1 or 2 days ago on slowing down as well, which was, for me, I thought a very important topic and great advice. One of the things, a teacher of mine, Eknath Warren, great meditation teacher, great scholar of yogic and Buddhist and Christian, not just Christian philosophy, but Christian mysticism. One of the tenets of his own eightfold path that he had is slowing down. You really learn to, one, it's better for your health, mentally, physically, emotionally. And two, you learn to pay attention. You learn to expand your own sense of awareness. We got some hellos going on. Noble says, Brian is awesome for welcoming me. He is definitely awesome. Noble gives a big W for Brian in the chat. Noble says, you earned a sub because I would definitely be back. I also live stream, but we'll stop in the future to say hello. Thank you, Noble. I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to returning the favor and checking out your channel and dropping in on a live session sometime as well. Man, I love when these live sessions come together and we got this group of people that literally just feed off of each other's energy. So, Brian, sorry to hear about the triggering. But man, that's a big thing that you're aware of it, that you've gotten to this point in life. Think in the past, how many of those how many of those behaviors triggered us in certain ways, and we were simply unaware of them. And we found ourselves doing things we don't want to do, we didn't want to do, we can't believe we're doing it, and we have no idea how this happened. But now, you're aware of the triggers, and you're aware of the behavior, and you know that's not where you want to be. Noble says, Brian, are you a regular here? Fairly often. Brian stops by a couple times a week, and I see him and I get to see each other on, due to our channels daily, actually. Noble, you would definitely appreciate Brian's channel. This is a guy that's been through the fire, and he's here now, sharing his wisdom, sharing his passion, sharing his love for others. Destiny says, welcome home, everyone. We're all in this together. One mind, body, and soul. Divinity connected. All one in the same fibers of the universe. Thanks for sharing your platform, Eric. Thank you, Destiny. You always have a positive message for me and for everyone who comes here. And it's so natural for you as well. It just always reminds me, like the fragrance of a flower. You never have to ask the flower for its fragrance. It just is. You never have to do anything to a flower. It just is. You appreciate it for what the natural essence of what it gives. Noble says, hello, Destiny. You seem like a nice person as well. She definitely is. Destiny is, in my opinion, Destiny is the heart and soul of YouTube. Almost said Facebook. Our friend Odom's Homestead is here. Odom, how are you? Let's see. Actually, Odom, you said today was supposed to be a nicer day, so I hope you got some outside time in. I hope you got some work in your garden done. Noble was asking Brian how to find his channel. It says that he will subscribe when he finds it. Definitely would love to see Brian's channel grow. I'd love to see him having a huge following, monetized, being able to help support himself through the positive message that he has, and helping other people who are going through or have been through what he has. Odom saying hello, or Destiny saying hello to Odom. Brian says, yes, like I said on video, just want to be the best man I can be and have respect for others. And you know what? You're there. You're doing exactly what you said. Odom says that he's blessed. How are you? No, it's still raining. Sorry. Yeah, it's raining here as well. Later in the week, it is supposed to get to the 70s and actually have the sun come out. So I'm looking forward to that, because we're going to take a longer walk, Mocha and I, to a pond that, it's a tiny little pond, but it has tons of turtles, and they're huge, and they're covered in moss. These are turtles that are, you view them and you see the moss in their back, and you realize how old and ancient they are, and that they belong so deeply to the earth. And it is just an amazing sight. Always look forward to going there. And it's 2 miles from my house. Let's see. Noble says, hello, Odom. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's a great greeting. Destiny says, still raining, Odom Homestead. The earth knows you need the rain. Dance in the rain. Dance in the rain for sure. Noble says, I have 3.93K subscribers. Hopefully one day I'll reach 5K. Oh, you definitely will. The positive message that you're putting out there, that definitely attracts the right people, for sure. And I will for sure be sharing you out. Not that I think that might be too big of a help. I've been fortunate to gain over 4,000, but I don't know. I'm not sure. One, I'm not sure how I did, and two, I'm not sure if of those 4,000 plus, how many know I actually exist. So we'll see. Brian says, you can type in Brian Lane and maybe burpees. It's a good idea. Along with it, and look for my picture in the light strength. Yeah, I think that would work. I found people when I needed to look them up quick, type in the name and put in burpees, and they definitely come up. Odom says his plants and trees are loving it. Thanks, Brian. Hope you are too. And Brian says, thanks, Odom. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry, you know what? I thought you two had met before here. I try to make sure everyone knows each other. Let's see. Noble says, I hope you reach 1 million subscribers. You are a nice person and deserve more subscribers. More people need to see your stuff. You are a nice person. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I do my best to be a genuine person. I think that's why I love the expression that I use with Destiny quite often, beingness, because you can't go wrong. Just being. It's all exclusive. Everything's allowed. If I have a bad moment, I just have a bad moment. It doesn't define me. It doesn't mean that I identify with that bad moment. It's just a thing that occurs. And I'm back to beingness. I'm back to myself. I'm back to that all-exclusive allowingness. And when you realize that, you know, all of that stuff is allowed, all the emotions, all the thoughts, they have less of a hold on you. You don't punish yourself when they happen. And you go back to that zero state, that sense of groundedness. So much easier. Odom says your channel doing great, Noble. I'll come over soon. It is a good amount of subscribers there. We got some hashtag networking all apart, fellowship of beingness. I'm horrible at reading hashtags. I'm horrible at reading things on a screen. This is how we grow. Great hashtags. I like that expression, networking, as well. It's just so helpful. Sooner or later, I need to learn how people can drop their links, like the professional live streamers do, the James Skype. I think it's easier for people to be able to drop their links and not have to do any kind of search, so that everyone really can so easily subscribe to each other and help each other out. Everyone here today who's popped in has a message that they hope to share. And everyone has a beautiful message that they want to share. How can you not want to help that out? How can you not want that to grow? As I mentioned before, you know, especially in this, it's a political season. Things have always been divisive for the last decade, 2 decades maybe, maybe longer. So every little bit of kindness counts. Every little kindness helps a great deal. One of the lessons in A Course in Miracles, teach only love. That is definitely the message that I want to put out there. And it's not in a, you say teach only love, and people always want to come up with an example. What about? Doesn't deny that there's problems and issues in the world that we need to work on, but the solution to all of that begins and ends with love. Because think of every other way that we've tried to reach a solution. through means other than love has it worked. You know, remember Wayne Dyer saying, in the history of warfare, it's never worked. Because if warfare worked, we'd only have one war and we never want to do it again. And yet, here we find ourselves, generation after generation, repeating the same mistakes and thinking the solution is going to war. And now I'm not even talking about army versus army, armed service versus armed service. We go to war with each other. We go to war with each other politically, neighbor against neighbor. We go with war to, even on a difference of opinion on sports teams or YouTube channels or whatever. There's that inclination to go to war, and it doesn't work. Destiny says, networking on all our parts, fellowship of beingness, each one teaches one. That is how we grow. And man, it has certainly worked for me. And I definitely want to put that in place for others as well. Definitely love for Brian's channel to grow, and I'd love to see Odom reaching everyone who loves to grow, everyone who loves the earth, everyone who loves to plant needs to be spending time with Odom's homestead. Noble says, this is random, but has anyone told you that you look like a cross between the singer of Linkin Park? I know Linkin Park, but I don't know what he looks like. And Andy Dick. I've never heard the Andy Dick before. I don't mean any disrespect. No disrespect at all. I was just wondering if you heard. I have not. But maybe the Andy Dick is because of the glasses, which I don't tend to wear in everyday life. So that is, I'm going to have to look up Linkin Park. Destiny says, Odom's homestead is super awesome and has a lot to share. Yeah, he does, and teach us in the YouTube community. He certainly does. Odom says, I still have so much to learn before I think I can grow. Better editing for one. I have never edited. I agree with you for me. There's tons that I don't know how to do on YouTube. I have never edited a single thing on YouTube. I probably should. And the truth is, I probably never will. I just point the camera and start talking, or I point the camera and I start doing burpees, or I point the camera and let nature do its stuff, which is the simplest of all, because nature will just be nature. And I'm fortunate enough to get to see it. One of the things I was going to mention before I'm going to say goodbye in just a few minutes, it's just about time for my second meditation session for the day. When I first started doing the YouTube shorts, I was didn't know if I could do it, because holding a camera felt like a interference between me and being part of nature, that I could either be a participant or I could revert back to being a witness. And some of the stages you go through in your meditation journey is you suddenly find yourself in this witnessing state, which is absolutely beautiful, because you get to witness your thoughts, your body. Everything is just occurring, and you're simply the witness to it. But you don't want to get stuck there, because as that witness state, as the witness itself starts to vanish, something deeper happens. You find yourself as a participant, and meaning there's no witnessing, there is just, again, being. There's just beingness. And putting a camera in my hand felt like I was going back to witnessing. But when I watch Mocha, with a camera. She is not, it's not a implement, it's an extension. And that caused a shift for me to happen. That part of the way of participating sometimes is being able to share it. So that caused a big shift in my doing the YouTube shorts. And now when I go out for a run or I go out for a run walk with my camera, it is all about allowing whatever wants to be filmed. It'll capture my attention. And if it captures my attention and it stays there for me to capture it, catch it, then I'm not just someone taking a video. I'm a participant who gets to be part of the scene. So, all right, we're gonna get ready to say goodbye. Noble says Andy Dick when he was in the movie The Army Now with Pauly Shore. What is your favorite movie? I'll have to look for that movie. I know Pauly Shore is attempting to make some sort of a comeback, and anytime someone is trying to reinvent themselves and make a comeback, you gotta cheer them on and hope the best for them. My favorite movie, man, I'd have to think about that. Quite a few. You know, yesterday I read in my short, or my second live, I read a lyrical prose that I wrote on rabbits, and I mentioned the movie Harvey with Jimmy Stewart. It's a magical movie, and it helped spark my love for rabbits, which inspired what I wrote that I put out there yesterday. So it'll change day to day. It'll change conversation to conversation. So right now I'm going to say my favorite movie is Harvey with Jimmy Stewart. Odom says, thank you, Destiny. I'm learning a lot from you and your passion and inspiration in life. It really brings a smile to everyone. It certainly does. Destiny says, you grow when you give little or no attention to your outer self. Focus on the inner being. Odom so said, then take a leap of faith. And your fears and not knowing will humble itself to you. Excellent advice. Noble says, why did Pauly Shore disappear for so long? I think because he was typecast. He was typecast as Pauly Shore. So everything became a Pauly Shore movie, a Pauly Shore bit, and he couldn't do anything different. But now I think and I know he went back to doing more stand-up. His mom owned a famous stand-up club in Los Angeles. And quite a few people, I think from like Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, all through the 70s, got their start through that nightclub. So he has some deep connections. Destiny says, you're welcome, Odom's Homestead. I'm glad to hear that, and that reveals that I am living my purpose. I have no doubt that Destiny is living her purpose. And I've been helped quite a bit from her as well. So, with that, guys, I'm going to go do my meditation. This was a great group of people that showed up, and I appreciate every single one of them. Noble, it was really great to get to know you and have you stop in. I will be subscribing to your channel very, very shortly, probably before I even start meditating. And let's see. Destiny says, thank you, Eric, and everyone for the chat. Everyone enjoy your weekend and day. You too, Destiny. Odom says, son-in-law and Biodome, my favorite. Biodome. That was funny. I remember that. I don't remember son-in-law. But yeah, Biodome was pretty good. It's funny because who was the other guy that was in the movie with him? Adam Fraser? No. Something along those lines. He made his own comeback and is doing quite well. He's a great actor. So, all right, guys. Thank you again, and I will see everyone. I'll be back later this evening uh, 5:15 or so Eastern time to do to either read from my blog, or I might read some more uh, famous poets and some of their works that have really inspired me, and then do a short talk on that. We'll see. We'll see what inspiration inspires when it happens. So, thanks, guys. Odom, I hope you have a sunny day soon. And I'll see everyone later.